Hello everyone. In the previous class we discussed about polynomial rings over field and we have studied some factorization in the polynomial rings over the field. Now let us continue the discussion. Today we are going to discuss polynomial rings over unique factorization domain. We knew that if f is a field, then f of x is a Euclidean domain, hence it is a principal ideal domain, and hence it's a unique factorization domain. Now let us define what is meant by content of a polynomial. Suppose if R is a unique factorization domain and if f of x is a polynomial of degree n in R of x, then the GCD of the constant and coefficients of these terms, that is a0, a1, etc. up to an, is called content of f of x and is denoted by C of f. So what is meant by content? Content is nothing but the GCD of coefficients and constant of the polynomial. And if the content of the polynomial is 1, then such a polynomial is called as primitive polynomial. For example, see here f of x is 2x squared plus 6x plus 10. Then the GCD of 2, 6, 10 is 2. Therefore, this polynomial is not primitive. But is it possible to reduce this one to a primitive polynomial? Yes, of course, it can be. Now, take the GCD as a common factor in this. So, 2 comes out, then you'll get this. Now, so your 2 is content of f. Now, what is the remaining polynomial? It is x square plus 3x plus 15, whose coefficients are 1, 3 and constant term is 15. It was GCD, that is GCD of 1, 3, 15 is 1. Therefore, this polynomial is primitive. That means any polynomial which is not primitive can be written as a in terms of a primitive polynomial by taking content of that polynomial out, which is a content is nothing but GCD. So if you take out that GCD, then it becomes a primitive polynomial. So in general, if D is the GCD of a0, a1, etc. up to n, and if you divide each term, that is taking out D or dividing each term by D, both are one and the same, then a0 by D, a1 by D, etc. up to an by D, their GCD will be 1. So in general, any polynomial f of x, which is a polynomial in R of x, can be written as content of f into g of x, where g of x is primitive. Now, let's move on to a proposition. If R is a unique factorization domain, then the product of two primitive polynomials over R is again a primitive polynomial over R. Now, let us consider two polynomials f of x and g of x of degree R and S respectively. And f of x and g of x are primitive. That means GCD of a0, a1, etc. up to AR is 1 and GCD of b0, b1, etc. up to bs is also 1. Now consider the product of f of x and g of x. Let's call it as h of x, and your h of x is c0 plus c1x etc. up to cr plus s into x to the power of r plus s, where c0 is a0 into b0. That is the only constant term. Then if you multiply a0 with b1 and a1x with b0, then you'll get terms which are having x. So we are writing that one as c1. So your c1 is a0 into b1 plus a1 into b0. So similarly proceed like that, and you will get this one. In general, your ck is summation ai into bj, where k should satisfy I plus j, and I runs from 1 to r and j runs from 1 to s. Now we have to show that h of x is primitive. Contrary to this, let us assume that h of x is not primitive. It is primitive actually. So that means content of h is a non-unit, because content of h is a unit, then this polynomial would have been primitive. Since this is not primitive, means content of this polynomial is a non-unit in R, and so since it is non-unit, there exists an irreducible element, say P in R, such that P divides content of H. Because your R is a UFD, unique factorization domain. If it is a non-unit, then there must exist an irreducible element, because every element can be factored into product of irreducibles in the case of UFD. Therefore, there must exist some element p which is irreducible and divides this. That means, because content of h is nothing but what? Content of that is GCD of coefficients of h of x. What are coefficients of h of x? C0, C1, etc. up to CR plus S. So GCD of this will be your content. Therefore, content of h is nothing but, P divides content of h means P must divide at least one of Ck, where k runs from 0 to R plus S. Since f of x is primitive, you should note that your f of x is primitive. Your f of x is primitive. Therefore, if it is primitive, then P cannot divide all of these A0, A1, etc. up to AR. If it divides, then f of x, the GCD of f of x becomes P. But here, f of x is primitive. So therefore, GCD is 1. GCD of A0, A1, etc. up to AR is 1. So if P divides A0, A1, etc. up to AR, all of them, then P divides all of them. Therefore, GCD is P, which is not true, because f of x is primitive. Therefore, P cannot divide all of these A0, A1, etc. up to AR. It must divide only few of them. Let us assume that P divides A0, A1, etc. up to AL minus 1. But P does not divide AL, where L runs from 0 to R. Similarly, if P divides B0, B1, etc. up to Bs, all of this, then P is the GCD of g of x. Therefore, g of x is not primitive, but they are given g of x is primitive. Therefore, P cannot divide all of these B. Therefore, P must divide, say, some B0, B1, etc. up to Bm minus 1. P does not divide Bm. Now, you should remember, P does not divide AL and P does not divide Bm, but P divides remaining terms, that is A0 to AL minus 1 and B0 to Bm minus 1. Now, what is your L plus M coefficient of h of x? Which is, remember, your L plus M, CL plus M is CL plus M into x to the power of L plus M. So that term, you are having coefficient of that is, you expand this such that I plus j should be equal to L plus M. That term plus AL into Bm. Because your coefficient of CL plus M will be A0 into Bm plus A1 into Bm, etc. Similarly, you have to multiply up to AL with Bm. So that this term plus remaining terms. Here, remember, I is not equal to L and J is not equal to M. That means your I will be 0 less than or equal to L and J will be 0 less than or equal to M, except, less than L and less than M. And we should note that P divides content of H. Therefore, P must divide all those terms Ck where K less than or equal to R plus S. At least P divides CL plus M. So P is dividing this. And also you should note that in this sum, your I is less than L and J is also less than M. And we know that if I is less than L, then P divides A0, A1, etc. up to AL minus 1. And if J is less than M, P divides B0, B1, etc. up to Bm minus 1. Therefore, when I is less than L and J is less than M, P must divide either AI or P must divide Bj. Therefore, in this sum, one of the term is divisible by P. So, if you expand this, in each of the term, one of them is divisible by P. Therefore, all this sum, total sum is divisible by P. Therefore, P divides whole of this sum. Remember, P is dividing this sum and P is dividing this sum. Therefore, if you send this one to this side, P divides this minus P divides this. Therefore, because there is a property which says that it's A and P divides B. Therefore, P also divides A minus B. So, P divides this and P divides this. Therefore, P also divides this minus this. but that is nothing but AL into BM. Therefore, P divides AL into BM. But remember, your P is a term in R and it is irreducible. And you know that in the unique factorization domain, irreducible is nothing but prime element. Therefore, P is a prime element. And you know the property of prime element. If P divides AL into BM, P must divide one of them, either AL or BM. If P divides AL or P divides BM, which is a contradiction because we know that P can never divide AL and P can never divide BM. Therefore, our assumption is wrong. That is, h of x is not primitive is wrong. Therefore, h of x must be primitive, and this completes the proof. That means we have proved product of any two primitive polynomial is again primitive. And further, there is a note. Suppose f is the field of quotient of R, and if f of x is a polynomial in R of x, then content of f into g of x is equal to f of x, where g of x is a primitive polynomial. We have studied this one by the above example. And let us assume for the time being that f of x is a polynomial in f of x. F of x is a polynomial in f of x. So f of x is of the form a0 plus b1 a1x plus etc. up to anx to the power of n, where ei belongs to f. But remember, your f is the field of quotient of R. Therefore, I can write this one as b0 by c0 plus b1 by c1 etc. up to bn by cn, where b0 b1 etc. up to bn, c0 c1 etc. up to cn, all of them belongs to R. Because why we can write this one? Because your f is the field of quotient of R. Because of that reason. Now clearing the denominator, then we are going to get 1 by c0 into c1 etc. up to cn. You take out this. That means you are taking LCM and clearing out. So that you'll get the first term as b0 into c1, c2 etc. up to cn, plus the second term is b1 into c0, c2 plus c3 etc. up to cn into x etc. We are calling them as d0, d1 etc. up to dn, where, see, you should remember your d0 is a term which is present in R, because d0 is nothing but what? b0 into c1, c2 etc. up to cn. b0 is present in R, c1 is present in R etc. up to cn is present in R. Therefore, their product is also present in R. Hence, d0 belongs to this. Similarly, d1 etc. Remember, here when you take d0, you leave c0 because c0 gets cancelled when you take out this one. So remembering, remaining is b0, c1 etc. up to cn. That's why we are writing in the case of di, it is product of bi, c0, c1 etc. up to cn except ci. To denote that, we have written ci cap. It indicates that remove ci. So if it is d0, then it is b0. Then your ci will be c0. That means remove c0, c1, c2 etc. up to cn. So if you want d1, then d1 is equal to b1 c0. This will become c1 cap. So c1 goes off. So remaining is c2 etc. up to cn, like that. Now your f of x equal to this into a polynomial in R of x. So that is g of x, where R of x, g of x is belonging to R of x. And you should note that this polynomial is primitive. We have written this one by the above note. Now, by above example which we have written here. Yeah. Now, you should note that your ci and di are coming from R. Let's take an example. Suppose if f of x equal to 1 by 2 plus x by 3 plus x square by 5. Now, you take the GCD of this and clear the denominator, that is 1 by 2 into 3 into 5, so that you will get 15 plus 10x plus 3x square. Now see this polynomial is primitive. That is what we have written. This is content where this polynomial is primitive. Now let's move on to a lemma, and this is due to Gauss. Suppose if R is a UFD and F is its field of quotients, if f of x is a primitive polynomial in R of x of positive degree, then f of x is irreducible in R of x if and only if it is irreducible in its field of quotients. So they had given f of x is primitive polynomial and f is the field of quotient of R. We have to make use all these things and we have to prove this. Instead of proving f of x is irreducible in R of x, if and only if it is irreducible in f of x, let's prove the other way. What is that? F of x is reducible in R of x if and only if it is reducible in f of x. Both are one and the same. If instead of proving this, we can prove this one because negation of this is this. So let's prove this one. Let us assume that f of x is reducible in R of x. That means f of x can be written as product of two polynomial where these two polynomials must be non-units. Remember, if one of them becomes unit, then f of x is irreducible. Therefore, both are non-units in R of x. If they are non-units, you should note that their content cannot be 1. It will be more than 1. Therefore, f1 of x and f2 of x must be of positive degree. Because these two are non-units. Since f of x is primitive, f1 of x and f2 of x are non-units in f of x. And remember, you are written f of x as product of these two, and these are of positive degree. Therefore, f of x is reducible in its field of quotients also. Because same polynomial comes in R of x also. Therefore, f of x is reducible in f of x also. Because just we know that these are non-units in R of x, therefore they are non-units in f of x. Because of that reason. So this way is true. Now let's prove the other way. What is that? Suppose f of x is reducible in f of x. Then we knew that this f is the field of quotients of R. And since they are given, this is not irreducible, this is reducible. So suppose f of x is reducible in f of x. Then let us say f of x equal to f1 of x into f2 of x, where f1 of x and f2 of x are polynomials of f of x. And remember, these two are non-units. If one of them becomes unit, then this becomes irreducible. But this is reducible. Therefore, both of them must be of positive degree. That means they are not primitive because their content is more than 1. So by clearing the denominator, as we did in the note, clear the denominators and take the content out, so that we can write f1 of x as a by b into g1 of x and f2 of x as c by d into g2 of x, where g1 of x is primitive and g2 of x is primitive in R of x. Then what is your f of x? Your f of x is f1 of x into f2 of x. Therefore, if you substitute these two, it becomes ac by bd into g1 of x into g2 of x. Now cross multiply and you will get bd of f of x into ac g1 of x into g2 of x. Now equate the contents so that this will be content of bdf, but bd is constant, we can write that one outside. So bd into content f is equal to ac into content of g1 g2. But remember, your f is a primitive polynomial, therefore content of f is 1. This goes off, simply you will get bd. Remaining is ac into content of g1 g2. But remember, your g1 is primitive, g2 is primitive, and we know by above lemma that product of any two primitive polynomial is again primitive. Therefore, g1 g2 is also primitive. Therefore, content of g1 g2 is also unit. So if you replace this unit by some u, then you will get bd is equal to ac into u. Now, what is your f of x? Your f of x is ac by bd into g1 of x into g2 of x. Let us replace ac by some u into bd. Then bd will go off, u into g1 of x into g2 of x. So we have written f of x as u into g1 of x into g2 of x, where u is a unit and g1 of x and g2 of x are polynomials of positive degrees. Polynomials of positive degrees, hence they are non-units in R of x. When they are non-units, so these two are non-units and f of x has been written as product of two non-units. Thus f of x is reducible in Rfx. And this proves the lemma. Thank you.